So oxygen just makes up 20% of the air, and yet it's the most important gas for us. It's the gas that we breathe to give us our energy. Well, where does oxygen come from, the oxygen in the air? How do we get it? It comes from plants. And over here we have some plants. We're having light shining on them, but unfortunately I think we cooked them a little bit too much the other day, and they would normally be bubbling away, giving out oxygen gas, but I think we've, killed them. Never mind. So usually oxygen from the air comes from the plants. Okay? Sometimes, though, we need an emergency supply of oxygen. Like that. Yes. So in an airplane, if there was an emergency, these little masks would drop down and would be able to breathe in the oxygen. But this oxygen, it doesn't come from a canister of compressed oxygen. This oxygen is made chemically. Okay? Here's the apparatus that's used to make this. We see the masks here with a little bag, and here's the generator. It's a chemical generator. I have one here that's already gone off. And there's a compound in this called sodium chlorate. And in this, we have a chlorine atom combined with some oxygen. But when it's heated up, that oxygen is released, and we can use this to breathe in. Now, here we have a chemical reaction to show this reaction. We have sodium chlorate, and as we heat this up, it forms sodium chloride, which is very different. So this has now lost the oxygen. Sodium chloride is, well, does anyone know what sodium chloride is? What's that? Yes? It's salt. Very good. Yes, this is actually the sort of thing that you'd put on your fish and chips. Just normal salt. Sodium chlorate is very different. This has oxygen built into it. You heat it up, it forms sodium chloride and releases the oxygen. Well, we can show this now. Have a very similar reaction. This is not sodium chlorate, but potassium chlorate. And Chris here has been heating up some potassium chlorate, releasing some of the oxygen. And I can show this with a wooden splint here. What I'm going to do is blow out the splint. So now it's not alight, it's just glowing. But if I put this into the tube, the oxygen that's being given off here relights the splint. So now it's out, and now it's lit again. And that's a reaction from the oxygen that's coming out as the potassium chlorate decomposes. Well, I can show another reaction with this. This time I'm going to react the oxygen in the potassium chlorate with another jelly baby. Right. So here goes, go. God. Oh. Well, that was really rather violent. And that was all the sugar reacting with the oxygen from the potassium chlorate. And it's still going. Poor little jelly baby. There's not much left of him now. Well, we'll just leave that one going. So we've seen how the oxygen comes from plants most of the time, from photosynthesis. That's where the oxygen in the air comes from. We've seen that we can chemically generate this by heating up something like the potassium chlorate here. It's still going. It'll finish in a moment. There we are. It's just about to finish.